So you've probably heard by now that a few banks in California and New York have collapsed. Again, is this bad news? This is Tad Fulfer with the Rise Up in Real Estate, and this is a special edition of the Rise Up in Real Estate video series. I wanted to come to you today to talk about this bank collapse and how we as professionals should respond. So you probably heard the news by now, or maybe you don't watch the news, maybe you just heard a little sprinklings, but I should let you know that a big bank, very big bank in California collapsed. SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, collapsed this past Friday, and then another one in New York, and there's others that are listed to be under scrutiny. They've collapsed. Now, those of us that have been in this business for a long time are having a little bit of PTSD and wondering what in the world is going on in our market. Wanted to come to you today and admit to you that I don't know all the information, but as your trusted advisor, I want to lead you into what I believe right now we need to be doing. A few things. Number one, you need to stay calm. You don't need to freak out. You don't need to be crazy. Some of you don't watch the news so that you don't ever freak out, but you need to stay calm. You need to be that person that puts their mind around things. You need to take a beat, as we talk about. You need to analyze the situation, and then you figure out your course of action. Don't let emotion, don't let memory be the better case of value. Take your time. Be patient. Be calm. Number two, you need to be informed. You need to find a good source of information so that you can gather information about what's going on and you can make your decisions. You can make your calculated calls based on information that you gather. My recommendation would be, if you want to watch the news, watch a couple of channels. If you want to research it online, that you find a couple of sources. Better than that, though, I think if you go to a trusted real estate coach or mortgage coach and find out what's going on, what their opinion is, somebody that you trust, you'll save yourself a lot of trouble. I don't know that it's necessary that you trudge through all the details, because there's a lot, but I think it is important that you figure out a position to make a statement. So find a trusted advisor. If you need help finding that person, or if I can be that person, I'll be happy to. Third thing that you need to do is, after you've stayed calm, after you've began to gather information, you need to figure out how to be confident in the midst of adversity. This is the sign of all the great coaches of all time, all the great leaders, is when the heat gets turned up, that the leader remains calm and confident. Confidence doesn't mean you know it all. I'm telling you right now in this video that I don't know everything about the situation. But what I am telling you is that with confidence, I will lead you through it. I will commit to finding the information and helping you make navigated decisions. You can hear the confidence in my voice. You need to have the same confidence when you talk to your consumers and your clients. They're looking for a trusted advisor. They'll need you to be calm, they'll need you to be informed, and they'll need you to be confident. Fourth thing that I want to say about this, and in my opinion anyway, and I'm telling you this is my opinion as we talk today, and I'm digging in still to figure out more information, is I don't believe this is like 2007 and 2008. That's all of our fears, right? We are all reverting back to, oh my gosh, is this the beginning of the end? But by the way, it wasn't the end, because here we still sit and we're still in the business. But it's not like 2007-8, at least in initial overview, because the collapse is not related to the real estate business directly. These banks that we're talking about today are primarily tech company supported banks. In 2007, 2008, the collapse was caused by unhealthy mortgage loans directly related to our industry. And as those things began to tank, banks began to fold, it directly affected the loans and the properties that we were owning and listing and selling. That's not the case so far in what we're dealing with now. It's not the same. It hasn't had anything to do with misappropriation of things that we do in our business. The other thing that you should know, the fifth thing I wanted to tell you, is whether or not it's related to 2007, 2008, or like it, whether it's related to our industry directly or not, it will affect, in my opinion, consumer confidence. Anytime something like this hits the news, anytime there's breaking news, unless it's someone had a baby or somebody won the lottery or it's exciting, which doesn't ever get press, right? Every time there's breaking news on TV, whether it's a hurricane, whether it's a president's ill, whether it's something like this, a bank collapse or a train derailment, it affects the minds of consumers. It makes people pause more. And I think you need to be aware of that. It doesn't mean that it has to be directly related to our industry, but people's confidence, consumer confidence, might be shaken. So be aware of that. The last thing that I want to tell you, and this is the opportunity in this for us, in my opinion, is there's now time like never before to have a dialogue. I said this in March of 2020. I said this during COVID. I said this back in 2007, 2008. I've said this several times in my career. Now is the perfect time to pick up the phone and call your database. Call them and have dialogue, and be careful in your dialogue that you don't steer them to what you want them to think. Hear exactly what they're saying, how they feel about this news, if they even know it, and then make your decisions about how you're going to lead that person in calm, informed confidence, right? You need to be able to take every situation independently. This is why I believe you do need to do video campaigns, you do need to do email and text campaigns and all that, but you need to have conversations, because this is a very specific situation that will affect everyone differently, depending on how much money they have in the banks, how much money they don't have in the banks, how they invest, etc. Could be the land of opportunity. For people that have a lot of money in a bank or a lot of money cash sitting somewhere, this is a great time to talk to them about how sound a real estate investment would be. A simple question like, how would you feel today if that money that's in that bank was sitting in a real estate investment? Would you feel the same? And clearly they wouldn't. So it's the land of opportunity. It could be. But remember, you need to stay calm. You need to be informed. You need to be confident. You need to remember it's not like 2007, 2008, at least an initial overview. It will affect consumer confidence, and now's a perfect time to have dialogue with your clients. So thank you for this special edition of Rise Up in Real Estate. This is Tad Fulford here for you, and I hope this video helps you rise up. But more than ever, if you want to have a conversation about this, you want to dialogue with me, reach out. You know where I am.